Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word and it's yours. Thank you very much. Come back soon.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place. Not a problem.
I was alone yesterday on Fortnite. I was watching that stream. I was getting irritated with her yesterday.
Yeah. You watched that Fortnite video again?
Yeah. I was so mad at her yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I was all like, baby, calm down.
No, it's the fact that she said what she said. Like, it didn't matter. And I'm sitting here like, listen here, you little fucking bitch. Well, that's what you did. You edited your guys' little shit.
Well, yeah, but I was really good at it.
Yelling. I kept on you.
Who did I station here? Him. Okay.
Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word and it's yours. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come back.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place. Done and done. Done and done. Be seated.
Oh, gladly.
Did you seriously ask me why I was on that?
No. I don't know what to give her. I don't know.
You can just hear me going the
If
fuck
it's
off.
steel you're after, you're in the right place.
Well, I did tell you I was live streaming and you could hear yourself talking.
Well, now I can hear what she said.
Be seeing you.
Did you tell your dad about that? About that stream?
Oh.
Screw it, I'll hire another one.
Colin straight up said you slept on call with me to piss her off. She sent me. You did. It sounded like I said fine as soon as she said I think I'm gonna go.
Let's stay calm out there.
It's wise to withdraw.
Get so frustrated last night. Oh, I was pissed at Jess.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my dad yesterday while I was on the street with you. I like how I'm explaining all this to my dad. She didn't say shit. Even your damn headshots. I got so excited. Like,
Yeah, it was so cute. You were so cute.
I went from pissed off at her to goes up with you.
A good time for some research. Where's my prey?
I just,
Witness true chivalry. What are we doing?
I'm like running away from here.
Your will shall be done. I'll do what I can. Yes, all right. I'll not let Clive outdo me.
You got orders for me? I'm going.
Your will shall be done. I depart anon. I'll not let Clive outdo me. As they aim for me.
Yeah, I don't think Desiree's gonna talk to you anytime soon with how badly I went off on
Like
her.
I'd lose to you.
She was already talking to me last night
Succumb to
in the morning.
Focus your mind.
We strive for
Just a little magic.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, I could tell she was trying something because from a while there, she was straight up up
Your
your
will
ass
shall be done.
on Fortnite.
About time.
And then the minute I saved you and I went down, she didn't even come over, and she was close enough that she
Be
could
there
come
before
over
you
and
know
save
it.
us.
What are your orders, my prince?
What should I do?
Watch this.
Yep.
I'll head over now. I withdraw for the moment.
I hope you're ready.
Did you hear me say goodnight to my parents? Lily's not Casper is one.
Your body grows heavy.
You can do it.
March on!
How crazy you call it. Just a little magic.
I never doubted it. I'll do what I can.
I was really trying to get you.
Let's begin, shall we? Lethargy takes you!
Focus your mind.
We strive.
These things
Work
work
themselves out, just as I expected.
What are we doing? On it.
She walked up
Wanna
there.
run?
And she was saying, do you think you can score your ranch into my hidden valley? And everybody just looks
Something's amiss.
at her.
Watch this.
No holding back.
What should I do?
Not doing so good.
Like I'd lose to you. Succumb to sloth!
You can do it. Gia.
Ready yourself!
Just a little magic.
Proceeding as planned.
Been waiting for this.
Not even worth bragging over.
Your screen is supposed to turn in. Now we only got a long time for this sometimes. Let's of course see if that's actually true or not.
I'll spare no effort.
You don't know if that you need to go on the share. Taste the rain. Baby.
Yeah.
I just see this
If it's still
conversation
you're in
between
the
me
right
and my
place.
sister.
Yeah.
Don't think I don't need the sheriff.
Be-
Did you take That's fucking funny though. Really, you were chasing me so bad last night.
What? No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. You were. So I shot you with your fucking.
You probably saw me staring at your ass the entire time.
That's usually how it goes with you. He is wrong. You and I are happy. Help is running away from me so bad last night. She annoyed me so bad last night. I just wanted to tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I know she's your friend and all, but I really wanted to tell her to shut the fuck up.
I gotta go make some more money. Damn, I don't want this shit.
Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word, come back.
Did it steal you're after? Be seeing ya.
That's right to do about changing her fucking account.
Yeah, because we game share.
Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word, come back.
Did it steal you're after? You're in the right place.
She should be correcting me like that. That's fine, but I don't like her after what she said. Okay. Discord is blowing the fuck up. Oh, it's the freaking modeling agency. I don't even know if I'm staying, honestly, because fucking Toby's in there. why you got annoyed and left. She wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. She got on my nerves.
I guess. It's wise to withdraw.
About time.
I doubt I can help.
I'll just wait here then. My unit has captured this land.
Did it steal your after?
Now there's a light rain outside. It's like oh, of course, as soon as I left, the
Did it
bitch
steal
going
your
back
after?
into
You're
your
in the right
fucking
place.
party.
She's been in there. She just was in the lobby.
Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word and it's yours. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Come back.
I'm gonna lie, she kind of sounds like a dude. Baby.
Yeah? Well, a lot of people think that. Yep, a lot of people think that shit.
Are you sure she's not a guy that she did to a girl?
I'm sure. I've seen her on camera.
I didn't want to hit her.
I'm heading out.
I depart.
I am your humble servant. Strength flows through me. Here to come back, Zip. Here to shop, or maybe to sell. Just say the word and it's yours. Thank you, Rick. Here to shop, or maybe to sell. Come.
Oh. Shit.
That's what Jesus scared out of me.
You had the bejesus scared out of you?
Yeah. Took me a dick dad. I guess it's stay like that. I think that's right.
So how do you make team comps in Unicorn Overlord? So let's figure this out. So what do you do first? So what is a team comp? So a team comp is a group of dudes in a squad, otherwise known as a unit. And the unit is essentially your vehicle for killing the enemies. So what do you want to do? What should each unit be capable of? What are the unit types and so on? I think there's only one unit type in this game, and that is a good unit. I think the units and bad units. If a unit is good, it kills almost everything, and basically nothing can mess with it. And it typically just dominates. And it can support other elements, but generally you have a few things. So the first thing you need is damage. Every single unit, every one, needs some damage kit. So damage kit is a unit that deals 1 damage, and it typically has column attacks, row attacks, or attacks on every single enemy on the board. So let's go over a few different types of damage kits. Remember all of that. This is just for let's move over. Board move. It's 30 easy. It's proposing easy. So early is not but from up in the left is a big spins to win and he moves huge. You have the road enemies, 50% of targets defense, brings either +1 less targets. So it's a row attack. It's 120 potency that hits twice. So it's 60 potency hits twice. It's 120 potency. And with a build like Sniper and Weapons, he gives himself true strength, so doesn't have or and it's also guaranteed. So in this case, Elaine would be for the squad that we're building. In the case of Clive, he is on Silver Triangle Plus, which has Lightning Shaker, which is 2 attack, also stuns. He also can wild rush column, so he has column and row stun, column and row multi-hits, and he also has assaulting lance, which allows him to clean up kills if the enemy units are dead. And he just has to pick something up. So if everyone else in the team is out of resources, just between Lightning, Shaker, assaulting lance, you typically kill an attack squad. So when you're building teams, you want to be thinking who to damage. This is the most fundamental thing for a single team. And then, of course, for Unique, she actually has built-in damage carry. Inflicts freeze. It's a charge attack. And you might notice that she has 80 since 60 potency times 3, so it's 100 potency. Now this you want to use impetus on, so that when she goes to charge, she gets hit with impetus from the carrier hoods, and then she instantly does her board nuke. And then you also want to give her true strike, typically through a sniper lens, or you can have someone hand her true strike like a witch. Witches can give other units true strike before they attack. So, for example, if we wanted to make it so that she always hits her board nuke, we could run either a sniper lens or true strike plus crits, or just a normal sniper lens. Just a lens this game. It's like a lot unreasonable now. I mean, it's reasonable. So we have these. There's actually a lot of sniper lenses in Angel Lance, and it's like 3 to 4 total. But you get Eagle Eye, make your next attack true strike. Oh, actually, hold on, she's built in true strike. You crit boost her, that's right. She's built in true strike. That's why she doesn't have it. I was like, oh, I made a mistake here. She was fine. She has built in true strike. I don't run her that much because I prefer Alto Linda, Rosa Linda board nukes. Then you have things like the Lindas. Let's grab the Linda too. Oh, she died. Killed her. She didn't mind control. But the Lindas have this board nuke. Elemental Roar. Attack all enemies. 70 potency, so 140 potency. It's a hybrid attack. And then potency increases with plus 30 for. I'm fairly certain that this also scales both, because it tends to hit really hard. And if you throw a lens on this unit and Gambler Coin, this ordinate, it tends to just completely kill everything. This is like the best damage carry right now with a build like this. Now you don't have to mirror it. You can throw a crown on it. You can put a ring on it or a crown and damage scaling. But because it's a hybrid attack, all stats and hybrid weapons are fantastic for a board unit like this. Sniper Amber Lens, it also gives you true strike when you pop it, and then guaranteed crits. She also has range of the Thorns, which is a row stun at the start of battle. So like this is like the best damage can right now. It doesn't need impetus, it needs very few resources, and it typically when it uses Amber Lens will just completely wipe it for it. And maybe if it blocks or covers from another enemy, it wouldn't survive. And she also has enough to last hit with Primus Edge and just keep destroying enemies. And then also you get this after. So if you have enough passive points after you use all of your abilities, you can get more action points, more hits, and pump things out. And then we have other things, so like Hilda. So you would do something like this. Dragoon's War Spear, Dragoon Dive, you get good stats, and you also get a board nuke, plus 50 potency versus group, and then of course True Strike, plus 20% attack, and whatever else you want to run on this. This is a more simplistic board nuke, but these are like damage carries, right? So you typically build your team around a damage carry, and depending on the damage carry, it can actually be in different positions. So like a light can actually be frontline, which is interesting, because he's a damage carry, it's also tanky. Like, look at his stats right now. He's 118 health. His physical defense is very high. His magic defense is very high. He has built-in block and cover. Pretty sure. Yeah, he has built-in block and cover, which is very good. And then his built-in block actually refreshes his passive points. So each team needs damage carry, and then you typically have support units. Now, you don't usually want to rely on just one damage carry, because very often, especially if it's a row attacker, it's not going to kill on its own. So now we'll get into the next archetype of units, the damage boosters. So I'll put all the damage carries in the front. I'll let you kind of be a front line if you evasion stack. Rosalinda can kind of front line if she's evasion stacked. Just for the sake of this guide, I'm just going to throw them all in the front so you can see who is like a support unit this way. Let's see, I guess technically Scarlet could if we really wanted to. Let's grab a Fencer. So the damage support units, they typically deal low to moderate damage, They're usually evasion tanks, not always, but they will generally just improve the effectiveness of a board nuke or some other unit. Alright, so let's go over some of the basic ones. So we have Prince. So Gilbert is a one-off. You get one of them, that's it. He has one of the best damage boosting abilities in the game, Offensive Order, grants all allies plus 20% attack. This includes physical and magical damage. So if you have hybrid attacks, I think it scales both. I haven't tested it. If you know, just drop a comment. But at the very least, it probably scales the final output. So if you deal 100 damage, you're not dealing 120 damage. And then if you crit, you would go from 100 to 150 to... Math is not my strong suit. I want to say like 175. Is that right? That's probably wrong. It's like maybe it's 170 something, but it's like plus something. Let's bust out the calculator. This is why we have calculators. I can code, but I can't do math well because it's all just logic. Alright, so just be times 1.2. 180. That was close. Alright, so 180. So crit. So offensive order on a crit, like 100 that crits, goes from 150 to 180. So it starts adding up quickly. If you multi-hit, it's huge. He also has other things that are nice. He can remove buffs from enemies. Typically, you just have him offensive order once unless it gets stripped. He can also defensive order, which is not really that useful, honestly, because if you kill the enemies, you don't need to tank damage. He can also guard order, which is very good. Grants heroic allies 100% guard rate. So he allows your team to be more durable and more damaging. And he also can just slap a gambler's coin on him so that when you have an amber lens unit, you can boost that even further. So then when we crit, we get plus 30% more attacks, now we're plus 50% attack, and plus 50% crit damage. And between those two combos, a lane will typically just immediately kill the Brogy attacks. There's very few things that will survive this combo. And then the rest of your team can just be like supportive units that heal and make the team more tanky. And then for Clive, we have an Elven Fencer. So Fencers, they have Tome Conferral access. They have Mirage Stab. They have Column Attack that's decent, but Mirage Stab and Lightning Blade are really good. They also can cleanse, remove weakness, remove users. Debuff allows them to attack, have high base damage, and they have the evade mechanic. So against non-true strike enemies, they tend to be very slippery. They have above average durability, and they can contribute to damage. So they have a very meaningful row attack. 150 potency on a hybrid attack is quite strong. You can throw whatever coin or whatever on them. It's like Gambler's coin. In this case, I have a Lucky coin for evasion and some crit, mostly for the evasion, but they can use any Tome Conferral. So for your board nukes and row attacks, they can give them plus 50 potency. They can give freeze, stun, lifesteal, and what's it? Fire. So they can give all those different effects through the tomes. Very few classes can use the Tome Conferral, and this is one of the classes that can do that. And there's quite a lot of tomes. So it's just a huge damage increase to row attacks, board nukes, and so on. And they also have other things that can remove weakness. Silver. They also have this. After evading attack, grants user plus 1 AP. They can convert active points or passive points into active points. They can Silver Barrier to reduce any ranged attacks, like mitigate any ranged attacks. They can remove weakness from themselves, which also allows them to so they can actually frontline situationally. It's a pretty good class. And then, of course, we have Elven Archer. We have Mystic Conferral. So this is an active ability. Typically, what I do is you can kind of see the build. This is actually the perfect combo piece for Unifi. She gives Unifi plus 50 potency on her board nuke, which is a huge damage increase, as her active ability instead of a passive, because you cannot stack several passives. So she gets plus 50 potency, and then she quick impetuses. And then also, after she does this as her first action, she gets Icicle Arrow. So she has a multi-hit, hits two things, then freezes. And you can have it like prioritize wherever you want in this case. But it's pretty solid units. I like these. I think they're one of the best things in the game. They also have kind of like average bulk for tanking if they get hit. And they also have higher evasion, similar to the Fencers. And then we have the Witch.
If you want to find similar jobs too. I hate that I can't keep this a secret. I canceled all my food delivery subscriptions and upgraded to Cooking with Me, and it's totally transformed the way I eat because every meal is crafted by award-winning chefs from across the country. The variety is
What?
Alright, so the witch has magic conferral. This is a weird build, ignore this. This is like some weird build I was running. Let's run. Typically they run something that gives passive points. I can do my spell staff for now. Alright, so typically, let me take some charge either. Alright, so let's say this is an under-leveled witch. They usually have an ice coffin, which is a row freeze. They do this as like a last resort. They usually want to be a combo piece. So they have two buffs that are really useful. They can give things True Strike, so they can give your row attacks and board attacks True Strike, and they also have Magic Conferral, which is different from Mystic Conferral. They're slightly different names. It's the same thing, except it's a limit. So if you want to gain this coin in Mystic Conferral a board nuke, you can't. So you can just use this. So for example, if she goes and does her Dragoon dive and gets impetus, you would want an impetus unit on this Dragoon dive. You can also conferral the impetus. Like, the impetus doesn't cost a limited slot, so like when something's limited, activates for ally physical attack. If there are other activates for ally physical attacks competing with this, the highest initiative goes. And all the limiteds, only one of them, the highest initiative unit's limited goes, and then everyone else is just doesn't work. So if I were to have another unit try to get this coin, and she has the higher initiative of those two units, it would get conferred and get this coin about. But they have these
squad led by Francois, whose name I know I don't pronounce right. I'm trying. It's just hard to learn pronunciation from chat as chat's flying by, and also I can't hear how it's said. I just have to interpret it. So, Yara Griffin, what is the goal here? The goal is to maximize on the interesting and unique combat capabilities of Griffin Knights to try and clear large swaths of enemy units as quickly as possible while keeping your Griffin Knight alive. To do that, let's look at Francois herself, because of course she is the focus here. We have a very basic Recruit's Hand Axe on her, partially because I just didn't get my hands on a better axe for her, and partially because she just doesn't really need something better at the moment with the way her support is set up, which we'll talk about in a moment. Gives her some extra HP, gives her some extra XP as you're grinding through the campaign. Nothing wrong with that. Anything better that you can give her will be perfectly fine. The main idea, though, is you want to make use of the Griffin Knight's natural high swing ability. So an axe that is good, but part of its kit is it gives you a different ability. Not necessarily what you want to go for, unless you find something that can be situationally synergistic with the build. But for this early idea, not necessary. We then have a lucky coin, increasing our critical rate by 20% and our evasion by 20. The goal of this build is to have your Griffin Knight hit as far as possible, so increase your crit rate to make sure that happens. Great. And also, she's the primary dodge tank. She's the primary tank of the build in general. She's in the front line, and things are going to be targeting her the most. So having even more evasion on top of the Knight's good base evasion, especially against melee units, very solid. Finally, we have the Vitality Talisman, just to give us a little bit of extra HP for this attacks that do sneak through. It's decently hard because Griffin Knights do not have the best physical defense in particular, and give her a little bit more of an opportunity to survive and heal up. With Wing Rest, her ability that gives her her own heal. As far as our abilities are concerned, we're using High Swing. Two variations of it, and the reason we have two variations of it, and why you'll see variations of the same skill across all of these builds, is to fulfill certain conditions. So basically, the character will look at the top left, say, okay, High Swing, priority number 1. Row with most combatants. If for some reason there's not a row with the most combatants, maybe there's one in the front and one in the back, that's it. Then we can go to High Swing 2, target the lowest HP, execute something. Lowest HP is always a very solid baseline to have as a condition for any given attack ability, just so you can try and make sure the units don't sneak away with 1 HP, and you can actually finish off squads a little bit more efficiently and preserve your stamina. Finally, we do have Wing Rest to restore our own HP, recover 25% HP, double hit afflicted. This is great because there's no healing in this squad other than some potential self-healing, and you would like your tank to be able to provide some of her own healing. The nice thing about High Swing is you're just going to be able to cleave through a row of enemies whenever and wherever. Cavalry targets can't guard against it, they take extra damage, but just as an axe unit, you're hitting pretty damn hard. So all of the most resilient of targets are going to take a lot of damage from this attack, and if you can hit up to 3 things at once, that's awesome. Now, of course, you might be saying, well, yeah, but what about resilient targets like hoplites and things like that? What are we supposed to do about those? Well, that's where our support comes in, with which Yana. Yana is set up with an interesting little array of abilities. First off, she has the Chiropteran staff that she joins with. She gives +5 to evasion and +3 to initiative. No special abilities, that's fine, she doesn't need them. Primarily, I like this staff on her because of the initiative that it grants, which allows her to start setting up the attacks for the rest of the squad. Then she has a left hood to increase her magical attack. Nothing wrong with that. She's going to hit things with Ice Bolt, does magical damage, more damage is good. The most important piece of this set of gear is the Dove Plume, which gives another initiative +10. We want this because we want to be able to Ice Bolt a dangerous target right off the bat to make things a little bit safer for our Griffin Knight. Again, she's a dodge tank, not a traditional tank. So if an attack does manage to get through and hit her, it could be pretty bad pretty fast. With Ice Bolt, we try to make sure that that doesn't happen. Let's talk about our tactics. Our first iteration of 3 prioritizes the back row and the unit with the most AP in the back row. The idea here being you can find something that is either hasn't attacked yet, and is going to try to attack, or, God forbid, has multiple AP and freeze it so that it can't get any attacks off before you're able to potentially cleave it in half with your Griffin Knight. Failing any units in the back row or units with the most AP will default to targeting an armored unit because we'll deal good damage to them, freeze them, prevent them from guarding, never a bad thing. And then if all else fails, we can try to execute an enemy with a lowest HP Ice Bolt. Now the most important part, and the reason that this whole build kind of ticks, is the magic control skill that makes witches very, very strong. This activates before an ally's physical attack. It adds magic damage to an ally's next attack of 50 potency, and we have it set to prioritize our flying unit. The idea here is we can add magic damage to our attack, and some of those enemies with high physical defense, like fighters, hoplites, other targets, suddenly not so resilient against our gigantic axe swinging lunatic. With this, you can easily have a high swing, cleave through all 3 units, and finish them off. And with the added benefit of the fact that high swing is considered a ranged attack, so it can target the front row or the back row. Take out a bunch of soldiers that are trying to chain heal at the end of fights, easy. Take out a backline knight that's hard to hit, but is going to be guarding the front line to make it even harder to get to the knight and make things hard to take down, easy. This does a remarkable amount of damage, even just with the regular recruit's hand axe, and it is the #1 reason why this build ticks. Now, of course, we do need some extra defense, as no matter how high your evasion is, if an enemy can get guaranteed in on you, like a ranger, your Griffin Knight will pop real fast. That's where our fighter comes. Fighters are an interesting class, and we're going to be talking about them in general when I start doing my actual unit breakdown guides, talk about what's good, what's not, how to build them all, that type of fun stuff. But fighters are getting talked about a lot as generally being one of the weaker classes in the game. However, I think that what people are missing is that they're very versatile. They're a great body to put good equipment on because their natural skill set is not the most useful but has some situational use. They're a very good option to be able to put something like, say, a Viper Fang sword on to give them a useful new attack you might not otherwise want to use on something like a thief. You generally want to be using their PP steel attack. So, what does Renee set up to do? Well, as mentioned, he has the Viper Fang. I like this as it allows your squad to have a lot more damage output than otherwise might from this kind of defensive tanky fighter unit by poisoning big enemies and making them tick down with a lot of damage whenever they try to use their next ability. It does the same amount of damage as the fighter's warding slash, and unfortunately, Renee is not going to be moving before a lot of other units because fighters are fairly slow. So trying to get hit in with warding slash, boost your defense when there's not many enemies that are going to be throwing attacks around at that point anyway, not the most useful. With this, you can actually do something a lot more interesting. Then he has a basic bronze shield. It's really all he needs. I would, of course, upgrade this, but at this early point in the demo, I didn't really have anything on hand, and it turns out I didn't really need it either, which is pretty nice. Finally, we have the Guardian Gloves, a very interesting item that I want to figure out better use of, but essentially what they do is they give you plus 10% to your guard rate, not bad at all, smack your physical defense, I'll take it, but most importantly, the guarding fighter's skill. It activates after guarding an attack, and it grants the user plus 20% physical attack and plus 30% critical damage. So, in situations where things are hitting your backline, Renee, your fighter, whatever fighter you happen to be using, blocks the attack because they're slow, and now they've got to boost their physical attack, their critical damage, come out swinging with that Viper Fang, hit real hard, lay some poison on someone, and really make them think about what it was they're doing with their lives.
Judgment shall strike.
As far as our tactics setup, we have the following. 2 iterations of Poison Slash. The first one, prioritizing armored units, so that way, maybe your magical attack doesn't quite bring them down or something along those lines. You can hit them with poison, hopefully finish them off that way, even if the initial attack maybe doesn't do as much damage because they're high physical defense. And then failing there to be any armored units, we have a second iteration of Poison Slash that just targets the lowest HP enemy. Again, try and finish them off either with poison or the attack itself. Sorry for the quick cut, I had to actually switch the arrangement of arrow cover and guarding fighter. I forgot where this save was at the point in the demo that I loaded it from. The tactic wasn't actually saved from how I've been using it during the course of the game, so I had to swap these around. Arrow cover is our #1 priority. Prioritizing flying, because again, the whole reason we have a fighter here is to jump in the way of an arrow shot that might otherwise one-shot our Griffin Knight, who we need to make sure stays alive. This is the #1 priority. If there's an archer on the field, I want this to be happening. Now, that said, not an archer on the field. That's where guarding fighter people. Situationally, Renee blocks attack, reduces the damage that he takes, buffs his own damage, comes in swinging for the counter hit. Great. Never hurts to have some extra damage, and there's going to be weird unit formations where you can't just wipe things out with a big cleave with your axe. You're going to need better single target damage, blow up priority targets, enemies that might otherwise not get hit. That's where guarding fighter comes in and help you do.
Okay.
I love this squad. It's one of my most effective squads by far in the course of my time against 5 demo. I can just clear enemy units like no tomorrow. And you don't take that much damage if you wind up taking out 50%, 75% of the enemy squad with your first attack, right? Now, we're not the fastest. There are times where we will get out initiative, but that's where Yana can come in to try and neutralize enemies that are going to be doing that. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I actually kind of want to add a different condition. Rather than prioritizing the enemy with the most AP, it could actually be good. This will require experimentation, but it could be good to target an enemy with the highest initiative instead. Because she should be able to outspeed most things, and then we can neutralize a target that might otherwise get some dangerous attacks off on our Griffin Knight or our fighter. Something to play around with. This is where the tactic system can get really interesting really fast. That one change could dramatically impact the way that battle is, but something to play with. But that's the idea here. Neutralize a fast, dangerous enemy, get your Griffin Knight buffed, have your fighter on standby to tank any attacks that she might take with arrows, have her fly in, swing hard, crush a bunch of dudes, and then Yana and Renee maybe can finish some things off depending on the way the battle proceeds. Love it. Very effective, and I can't wait to see when I absolutely use this build in the full campaign what other optimizations I can make with some better gear.
Yeah, but if I hold it here, isn't it blocking my face?
JC Penney and summer outfits like these for less than half the cost of those other stores. Yes, JC Penney.
I am your humble servant.
Drinks are on me.
Any who bar my path must perish.
It's almost like a fucking hyena.
May the Father watch over us.
Baby,
Yeah.
it looks like a fucking hyena.
Who?
Witness the might of an angel. I stand ready. Your will shall be done.
Let them fight for you.
Blasphemous fool.
Spellbinder.
I'll never hold myself back.
How may I assist?
Next up, we have Berenice's squad, with one of the most blast cannon assault builds that I've put together in this game thus far, and something that I thought was going to be an absolute meme, and quickly turned into one of my favorite builds that I've done. The idea here is that Berenice the Sellsword can deal a lot of damage very quickly due to her high damage heavy slash, as well as the fact that she can use attacks like following slash to hit enemies that then attack us.
Took you
The
long
follow-up,
enough.
once she's cleared out a lot of damage on the enemy, will be her powerful call, granting a 30% physical attack boost to one of our cavaliers, one of our knights here, who will then charge in and start cleaning up enemies that have the lowest HP, getting their attack back, keep doing it over and over, and hopefully the squad is gone. So first, what do we have on Berenice here? We have the Owl Blade, which allows her to heal 10% HP with this attractive skill, gives her plus 5 HP. This is great because she really, the other members of the squad needs to survive to set up those future kills and the whole thing falls apart. Having a little bit of extra HP and the ability to heal herself a little bit, other healers in the squad is very nice. We then have the Lapis Pendant, giving us a base PP of +1, allowing us to use both of our support abilities, parrying one, and the Answer Bracelet itself, which gives us the Owl ability, and grants that 30% physical attack increase. As far as our tactics are concerned, we have the normal self-sword heavy slash, big physical damage to set up the enemy, targeting the highest HP enemy to achieve maximum efficiency on that attack. Powerful call, when one of our knights decides to ride out and do damage, gives them a nice physical attack boost that might allow them to finish off a squishier enemy without needing to be set up first, getting a full rollover of AP, chain attack, the other thing going. And then a couple iterations of following slash. This is a little bit experimental as I'm trying to figure out how often you can actually trigger following slash. It seems like it should be fairly often. The first iteration set up to target the highest HP enemy, counterattack a single enemy, and grants the user +1 PP if the attack hits. The idea then is if you still have PP left, following slash, bring it back to you, with another enemy attacks that you can follow up once again with another following slash, targeting the lowest HP enemy to try to execute something. I'm not 100% sure if this works the way that I'm thinking that it works. There might be some unseen conditions where you can only trigger something like this once per unit, but I think it bears experimenting, and it never hurts to have 2 iterations of this in here. Is at the end of the day, the worst thing that happens is only one's going to activate, only one is going to activate. Oh, we get whatever.
Well.
Looking at our knights, we have Jamel, who's set up with a Templar's Spear, a Bronze Shield, and a Pursuance Bracelet. Templar's Spear is just a decently damaging spear to give some extra physical defense and guard rate. Again, a little bit of an extra boost to help keep these gentlemen alive, because if they go down, the whole thing falls apart. But more often than not, they tend to survive with an HP or 2 for a staggering loss. The Bronze Shield is a very simple shield that helps the guard. Better shield here obviously does not hurt, but again, early days of the demo build, basic gear still works. And then more importantly, the Pursuance Bracelet. This grants the ability to Pursuit, which is brilliant, the ability that Joseph has that allows him to follow up allies' attacks for nice damage. The goal is this, is to be able to sortie out, kill someone with an Assaulting Lance, get your AP back, another ally attacks, whether it be Berenice or the other knight, follow up with Pursuit, execute the weakened enemy, or maybe just weaken them enough that, again, another Assaulting Lance from Jamel or knight, we have to chain into another follow-up attack, and keep bouncing back and forth, clear out the entire squad. This extra damage utilizing your PP really makes it so much more misleading to be able to get that going. That it's not uncommon for this squad to one round a total HP enemy unit of like 180 HP. It's pretty nuts. You then do have a card there to wind up taking an early hit, sneak block, so it goes. I'd rather make sure that these guys stay alive to keep attempting to chain their attack together than to necessarily get the guaranteed pursuit in, so it's here if we happen to get attacked and need to reduce the damage. So we can go over here to Hughes, has a simpler setup, but not by much, also has the Templar's Spear and the Bronze Shield for the exact same reasons that his brother-in-arms does, but this time has the Silken Scarf, again, in an effort to reduce the amount of damage that he winds up taking. It's not a huge evade buff, Knights are not the dodgiest units to begin with, but it helps where it helps. And again, whatever advantage we can get to keep ourselves alive here is good. Then he does not have a Pursuit Ring, so simple as it can be. Assault Lance targeting the lowest HP enemy to try and get the execute, so you can get your AP back and do it all over again. And then
I saw your bubble instantly pop up, and I was all like, she's about to tell me to come here.
You might think. There have been so many times this squad is running around the battlefield with single HP, maybe not even adding up to double-digit HP if you add all of their total HP together, or all the remaining HP together, I should say, and yet they're still just crushing because they're quick. They can start setting up chain attacks super easily, and even Berenice being fairly slow as a sellsword doesn't really matter because she starts throwing in following slashes and powerful calls to boost her allies before she even necessarily gets the heavy slash in. It's a very fun build. There's so much that I know you'd be able to do with this. And it's great too, because again, as the leader, Bernice provides the squad her high stamina for 6. So you can keep these guys out on the battlefield fighting for a long
play a
time
video game
before
and pick on
they're
each other
forced to
at
give
the
them
same
the
time.
chance to rest. I love this build. It clears squad.
I don't know.
Squad. You can see it on screen. I'm not going to jump down. But last, highly recommend it. This or something similar, especially when you get sellsword to 10, and then you get access to their killing chain, which is literally the exact same thing as the assaulting lance, except it's just the sellsword green. So imagine under the battle.
I'm looking.
Plus she's level 10.
Which one did you say?
Finally, I'm calling the Pyromaniac Squad, featuring Wizard Ouch, Hunter Rawl, and the Top Light Hodger. This is a setup that is pretty early in.
Okay, you said the one on the left, okay?
I wanted to highlight one from earlier in the demo, specifically because I wanted to show just how early you can start to get builds like this on. So, what is it here to do? The primary thing to focus on, the primary unit built around.
You know, you might want to put a different colored bed in every single one of these because that makes 0 sense in this one.
Rod you get when you recruit Ouch during this quest, and it has a very interesting ability, which is Fire Burst. It activates the end of that. It attacks a single enemy with magic.
You should put like
It's all enemies if the target is burning. And this thing has a possibility in active. What this means
just a second.
is this squad clears really, really hard. We'll go through the whole thing. So, as far as Ouch's equipment is concerned, he has, of course, the Pharaonic Rod. It's a fairly decent rod, primarily given fire burst ability. Then he has a Silk Hood to increase his magical attack, because we want him to be able to deal as much damage as possible with that fire burst attack. And a Silken Scarf, on the off chance that he does get targeted by an attack, he has a greater chance to dodge out of the way, because Ouch is a fragile, delicate man who will crumble at the slightest inclination. The tactics and his abilities are as follows. He starts off with Fireball, targeting the highest HP enemy. This is a pretty high damage attack, and it does inflict burn, so enemies will take even more damage if they start their turn after they get set on fire. And as such, we want to hit the highest HP enemy in the hopes that they survive long enough to get a fire burst. Next up, we have Magic Counter, targeting 1 or fewer enemies. The idea here is that you don't need to exit the squad down if there's only 1 enemy left. So, if there's only 1 enemy left, they have to attack out, he can use Magic Counter and blow them up. His Magic Counter on its own, it does deal more single target damage than Fire Burst. This should only trigger in the situation where there's only 1 enemy unit left, wherein that higher single target damage will be more valuable. Finally, of course, we have Fire Burst itself with its condition set to target a burning enemy. Obviously, that's what we want this to do, so we can detonate the entire enemy squad. Simple, effective, to the point, but how is it being supported? Well, that's where I have to talk about Rawl. Rawl the Hunter has an interesting opportunity here as we pick up a Flame Bow in the course of completing Oasis of the Angels quest. Flame Bow reads as follows. Flame Arrow. Attack a single enemy. Inflicts burn. Simple as. Deals literally the same amount of damage as a hunter's normal attack. It will still crit if you're
Okay, she doesn't want a big one. See, I only asked her that because I wanted to understand her better as a person.
Much like with Ouch's Fireball, I have this set to target the highest HP enemy. And again, we don't want to accidentally blow them up too early. And we have our Eagle Eye ability to just make sure that we hit whatever it is we're targeting. For our equipment, we have, again, a Flame Bow, a Warrior's Medallion to give increased physical damage, because even though it's fire attack, this is a physical attack, as well as extra crit rate to pick off dangerous enemies, and a Vitality Talisman to make Rawl a bit tankier, because it's unlikely that he's going to be getting guarded for by Hodger. Super Hodger, we'll hit him up now. This Hodger build is literally as simple as it can possibly get with one small map. If you've played the Unicorn Overlord demo, you know how Hoplites play, you know how Hunter plays. I've got these special gear on, so it just has a recruit short spear, bronze, great shield, and some helmets. The majority of this stuff is going to be tiny bond with fancy gear, so you can get a little bit of extra XP. That's it.
What?
It's what he does that's important. He's got 2 abilities. Sting, targeting the lowest HP enemy, so that way if something survives the explosion, he can run in and finish him off. And more importantly, heavy cover, standard Hoplite ability, but specifically prioritizing casters. So,
if you think of it like this, your dads have their own cabin in there too, right? And you know what they like.
Do what we wanted to do. We specifically want to.
I do have a weed bed for Dad.
This way, he
so I can technically play some.
Some ways to get on Rolf if Rolf is the one who gets attacked, because he's only would prioritize casters, but he'll still protect someone else against them. not set properly. So make sure you set your conditions properly. Like I've said a few times throughout the video, these are not super optimized builds. You can do way more just in the demo alone to really maximize some of these strategies. But I wanted to get the juice kind of flowing for you guys, get the gears turning, really give you an idea of what you can start setting up early with just a couple of synergistic abilities. Like I thought of the Ouch squad just when I saw the flame bow. I was like, that's another way for us to set up burning fire burst. That's interesting. And we just threw something together. Are there better ways to put this squad together? Probably. I haven't had too much time to sit and just tinker with individual unit builds, but you know I'm going to over time. As such, make sure that you pay attention to what gear is being dropped, what gear can be purchased, and what abilities you unlock as you level your units up, because all your strategies can open up with just one change to your gear or the abilities that you have on hand.
Who will you teach today? Download Snipdome and start connecting.
The tower. I want to make a tower build game. Number of upgrades to build. Try it out. I'll see you there.
Okay, she wants a gothic bet.
Evolving in 2026, what are you doing? There's an easy solution. It doesn't cost tens of thousands of dollars. It doesn't involve surgery or weird shampoos. It's a once-a-day chew for hips. Finasteride and minoxidil, chew ingredients to stop hair loss and help regrow hair. Plus, it includes a proprietary blend designed to support healthier hair. No in-person doctor visits, no waiting rooms. Just answer a few questions online, and it's shipped straight to your door. If your hair is thinning, stop ignoring it. Start with Hims and take control today.
I don't work with dreams. You recruit me on music.
I'm pretty sure she likes us. I can send a picture to her.
She wants morbid. Okay.
Fancy synergistic builds and insane team comps are great. Sometimes you just need to have a base to work from when building a unit. And today, we're going to talk about just that. So what is the topic of the day today? Well, I had a number of people ask me about general tips and suggestions for building out units in the mid-game.
Okay, hold on.
I've done some videos about specific team comps as well as just unit building in general in the early game previously. Not as much for the mid-game once you start getting promoted units, upgrading your units to size 4, etc., etc. So we're going to look at an example of one of my best units with Elaine's squad that has been absolutely dominating in my live streams and explain what makes it work so well and how you can kind of emulate that experience in your own unit building. I'm using Elaine's squad here specifically because it's an all-rounder squad. It's not something super focused or with a very particular purpose like Bruno's Bombardiers or Chip Tax Brothers that are talking about that link here. I think that makes it a good place to build from for other people. So let's take a look at it here. Starting off with our analysis, we of course have Elaine himself. Elaine is promoted to a high lord at this point, as are all of the characters in all of my units. This is just after clearing Helheim, but this squad has been online pretty much since we left Dragonfall, actually. So pretty easy thing to get set up. I'm rocking defensive guardian with Elaine's stats. You can see he's pretty damn tanky. Has good offense, good defense, good evasion. He's all around pretty strong. And yes, of course, Elaine being very powerful does make it much easier to build an all-rounder squad, but he does have a lot of good support that we'll get into here as well. As a frontliner, though, it is important to highlight what Elaine has going on. Right now, I have him set up with an all-around pretty decent tanking setup. He's got the Templar shield that gives him some extra physical defense and guard rate. Nothing crazy, but that extra guard rate in particular does help keep him alive pretty dang well. He has the White Knight's shield, physical defense of 4, guard rate of 15%, with plus 5 guard efficiency and max HP of plus 15. Part of the reason I have this on him is because of the life share ability. Activates after an ally's hit by an attack, share HP with an ally, and it gives 50% of the user's HP. Now, I've decided on whether I want to continue using this or not. I've had it on right now just for the guard efficiency and the max HP bonus, although you'll notice I don't have life share currently in use. Sometimes I like to have life share on here, but seeing as how Elaine is the only frontliner I have in the squad, he hasn't really needed it. You could, of course, then swap to something else, like, say, the Nameless Guard Shield to get blindness immunity, be able to potentially use cover if you don't need to. Things like Viper Shield and Poison Immunity. There's a lot of shields in the game, and kind of swapping these on the fly to suit the needs of whatever battle that you're in is certainly a good way to go about it. I can go with White Rider Shield. Stun immunity, Guard Seal immunity, and that's it. Not bad. Good physical defense. Like, you have options. I just like the max HP bonus because Elaine does take a fair amount of damage, and even though he blocks a lot of it, he will get choked down over time until heals can kick in. So it's been a pretty beneficial thing to have on it. We then have, mainly for lore reasons, the Ray of the Unicorn, but that extra HP and guard rate is certainly not bad. It seems how Elaine will use it. I do like to touch on him just to free up other accessories from other characters. Certainly have to need anything else. Finally, we have the Thunderclap Great item that I just got at the end of Elheim, and this replaced the Silver Bangle item, which is somewhere here, or Silver Circle. As you can see, it's literally straight up. It gives 2 extra magic defense, gives stun immunity, and even more max HP. And that's what you really have to watch for when you're using a soul frontliner like this. What status effects are they going to get hit? Because if your frontliner gets blinded, frozen, stunned, most particularly, they're not going to be able to block for themselves and potentially block for their allies anymore, and things could fall apart really fast. So, in particular, if you are using a solo frontliner, potentially even a duo of frontliners, having some good status effects resistance items, especially stun resist or stun immunity, will be very, very good. Then we have Cavalry Slayer for if there happens to be cavalry, just to be able to kibosh on enemy knights, raid knights, caviar, and then Lean Edge as our primary bread and butter here. Attack a single enemy, cover 25% HP if the attack hits, cover another 25% HP if the target is defeated. This is another reason that I have such a high max HP on lane, because it synergizes really well with that max HP. It's not 25% of the damage that you do, it's 25% of your HP. So just at base, we're covering a little over 25 HP per hit with Lean Edge. 50% total for like, what, 53-ish health, you can get a kill. That's insane. That makes Elaine an incredibly effective frontline tank, and kind of puts her in a similar position to me as gladiators with just a massive amount of self-defense that you can get, even the conditionals before that activation are different. We have a few different abilities here. Rapid Order activates the start of battle, grants all allies plus
I made you go into the shop because I'm trying to figure something
defense, and Mobile Guard activates by physical attack, blocking enemy attack with a immediate guard, grants the user plus 20% defense, and grants the user plus 1 passive point if the user has 50% HP or less. All of these abilities, again, very specific to Elaine, except for Luminous Cover, which is shields, things like that. But the idea here is that Elaine is sort of a pretty self-sufficient frontliner who can hold the line and stay alive, allowing his backline to do their work. And that's largely what you want for a general all-rounder squad. That could be a base tank, it could be a tank like a gladiator who can self-heal, it could be a legionnaire who can take a lot of physical punishment, but that's the type of thing you're going to want in the frontline more often than not. There are some more less general use things like evade tank sword fighters or things like that, or even frontline wyverns if you're going to be using paladins, stuff like that. But overall, this is the type of unit that you want in your frontline. Something that's durable enough to survive a bunch of attacks, potentially protect itself regularly, protect its allies, self-heal. That's what you're going to be doing. Moving on to our backline, this is where our real big damage comes in, and our overall squad support as well. Starting with Gerald, our Lance Connect. He has the Heaven's Wing Sword, good physical attack, gives extra accuracy and evasion. The Squire's Shield for quick cover, giving himself the ability to cover for an ally. This generally is used to block for a lane, make sure the lane can survive even longer, which is very nice. The Lapis Pendants that he can get more usage of quick cover, vengeful guard, vanishing pursuit, all of his various powerful passive abilities, and then the Liberated Bracelet, which is giving him another powerful passive ability. Geralt here is just for the raw damage, man. He is in the block, which is nice. Being able to spread damage around to have all of your units survive before a big heal comes in at the end of combat is very powerful. But primarily, he's going to slay out and slay out really hard. He's got Killing Chain and Basilisk Frost to make sure that happens with frequent regularity. And his massive physical attack of 68 ensures that he's able to carve through a lot of powerful enemies. This in part comes from the fact that he's got dual offensive growths. Thank you to Patron to request this character and make sure that he is absolutely ready to slap. And overall, it's a very powerful piece. This is one part that you're going to want, either in the front line or the back line of any given squad, to just be raw heavy damage, single target machine is going to be very capable in most general use squads. I've ever seen a card through a particular unit, take them out quickly before they're able to
Babe, if you want to take bad spaghetti, you make regular spaghetti, and then just put Velveeta on top and then cook it for half an
There
hour.
were times where I really thought that a Legionnaire was going to cause a lot of problems for me, and then Gerald just came in with Bastard's Cross and cut them in half. It was insane. If you didn't know, Bastard's Cross has a 70 physical potency, 2 hit count effect going on it. Attack single enemy. No potency increases based on the target's HP, with a maximum increase of plus 60. So this is a huge single target damaging attack, and it's going to be massively beneficial for you to have at least one character in a squad that can just nuke something if you need them to. Moving over here to Theiss, our Sainted Knight. She is honestly probably the core of this squad, even despite how powerful Lane is, because Sainted Knights are just so good. So, what does she have on her? She also has a Templar sword, much like Elaine. Same benefits, literally for the same reasons. It's just a good all-around defensive piece. It still lets her deal good damage. An Azure Crest Shield to give her good overall defensive capabilities and an extra passive point, which Sacred Knights desperately want. A Lapis Pendant for the same reason, and then a Silk Hood to increase her magical attack further to make her heals stronger. She has a stat spread of Party Defensive, which gives her very, very solid defensive stats. Her physical defense is a little lacking with the shield that helps make up for it, and her magical defense is massive. Mages are not going to do anything to her. And she's got decent physical attack and even better magical attack if you choose to use like a magical blade, which we had. I've used the runic blade on her before. It just hasn't been super necessary at this point, so I've swapped it over to other characters. As far as the skills that we have on her, first we have Saint's Blade, physical potency of 50 with a 2 hit count. Attacks a single enemy, extra potency about 25 if Theiss is at 100% HP, which she often is, and it grants her +1 passive point if the attack hits. Not even if it kills, just if it hits. So I like to have Theiss come out swinging with this near the beginning of the fight, deal some good damage, get a passive point back if she's already used one, and then on, she's going to be Rogan. Rogan is a ridiculously powerful skill in the back.
I enjoy this.
The cavalry unit that's also armored and has a shield and can do good physical damage.
I'm hot right now.
Is insane. I seriously think Sainted Knight might be one of the best, if not the best classes in the game. That's tough.
Well, you always can have snuggles, whether it's hot or not.
Modern HP to a row of allies. And modern HP at this point in the game is like basically all of your HP if you're not laid out. Primarily, she has used this on the back line. One generally has some damage on him and has a way to heal it up due to lean edge.
Well, I got plenty of snuggles to give you.
Going. Then she has Row Barrier. The next magic damage dealt to row allies also negates afflictions. As you get later in the game, you're going to be running into a lot of afflictions, also a lot of AoE magic attacks.
That's your game for a game.
In any squad is going to be massively important.
Steal
I'm
your
not kidding when I
resolve.
say you can absolutely slap a Radiant or Sainted Knight into a squad, any squad, and they'll probably be better off for it if they are not hyper-focused in doing one thing that Knight would not do. Just the healing, overall defensive capabilities while still being able to fight, it's huge. And I think it's one of the main reasons why this squad is able to handle so much. Like, you have seen some footage up on screen talking here, where almost anything that I throw this squad against just folds. It's wild. Then we have Holy Guard, activates before being hit by physical attack, block an enemy attack with a medium guard, and prevents debuffs. And then Magic Barrier, before an ally is hit by a magic attack, negate the next magic damage dealt to an ally, also negates afflictions. This is just a single target version of Row Barrier. Typically, Row Barrier is going to wind up being what you use and get in the later game, but if it's not a full row that's attacked, Magic Barrier can activate to attack a single ally. It's very good stuff. Having a unit like this is going to be able to heal and provide defense to your squads to keep them alive becomes invaluable as you get later into the mid-game, just into mid-game in general, just because AoE attacks become so much more apparent. And losing one of your units, or I should say losing one of your characters in a unit to spam AoE attacks early on, or spam magic attacks, especially in a line game, feels terrible and it can severely impact the efficacy of that unit until you can get that person back on the feet. And then they're likely to go back down again anyway if you don't have solid defense. So having something like a Sainted Knight or a Cleric or a Shaman that is going to be a very powerful defensive support unit is going to be huge for any general squad. Finally, we have Octavia, our Wyvern Master. She is actually set as the squad leader to get flying in there.
Merely
I like
ask, and it shall be
having a flying
done.
unit in a squad whenever possible because you can always switch them to the leader to navigate can rough terrain if you have to, and then you can do that, whatever.
Victory
But really,
grows
the
ever
primary
closer.
reason that Octavia is here is for AoE damage. The rest of the squad is very much either single target damage or tanking support. And when squads tend to get bigger, like 4 or 5 characters in a squad, you're going to need some AoE damage if you're going to carve through everything in a reasonable amount of time. That's what Octavia does. She's set up with a stat spread off of offense and precise, so she's getting good crits, she's got good physical attack damage, while still being fairly resilient due to being a master and having good self-defense. And her setup is as follows. She has the Silver Trident, giving her a mix of physical and magical attack with a focus on physical, which is great. That's primarily what we're doing, with the Lightning Shaker ability. Lightning Shaker is awesome. It deals 100 physical and magical potency to a row of enemies and inflicts stun. And this is key. Not only do we have a magical effect that can heal the row of enemies, we were just talking with our Sainted Knight about the prevalence of AoE magic attacks, but also it's going to stun. And having something that can actually do some statuses to temporarily remove enemies from a fight while you heal them helps immensely with their survivability. Like, I cannot overemphasize enough how strong the stun is. There's a reason that we have an anti-stun rate on lane. If you get stunned, you may as well be dead. You can't defend yourself, you can't take actions to heal yourself, protect yourself, try and take out enemies so they can't hit you or your allies. It's devastating. Being able to do that to an entire row near the start of the fight, we then have the Shawl Pose, which is giving us the ability to use Wing Rest whenever our own HP. You can see there's a lot of self-healing in this squad, as well as some AoE. And that's big. Just having that durability and survivability for a general use squad, again, going to be very, very strong. Next, we have another AP after we use Lightning Shaker. Then our Pursuance Bracelet make use of Passion points to get some extra damage in whenever we can. As far as our abilities are concerned, we have Lightning Shaker to just go off on the row of enemies. Don't really need anything specific here. I just want her to be using this. And then Diving Thrust to attack a single target, prioritize the cavalry. We then have Dragon. This is actually something we just acquired at the end of the previous stream. And I'm not 100% on actually wanting to use this. I haven't changed anything about it yet because I haven't had a chance to experiment with it. It activates at the start of the battle and inflicts initiative -20 on all enemies. And I mean, that's good. Like, reducing your enemy's initiative can be quite nice. The thing is, this is a fairly speedy squad to begin with, and even our characters that aren't particularly fast have a lot of follow-up attacks and counterattacks, so they're still doing stuff even before they get the chance to attack. So I'm not really sure that I want Dragon's Roar here. I left it on for an example point in this video about maybe why you don't necessarily want to use every skill in a character's kit, and I think this is one of them, so we're going to take that off. Instead, we're focusing on using Pursuit, Deflect, Wing Rest, and Ground Counter, the primary focus being Pursuit and Ground Counter, to deal extra damage to enemies. Sneak those extra attacks in whenever you can. If you're familiar with Magical Gathering, I kind of view these as instant spells, where you can cast them like kind of in between enemies' turns or in between different actions going on the battlefield to eke in little bits of advantage here and there that really rack up and potentially lead to a one-round win in the right circumstances. Which is quite often the way this was. Pursuit, of course, is just bringing in extra physical attacks whenever an ally attacks, which, whoever, is a fair bit of damage. And then Ground Counter activates after an enemy attacks with an active skill, does the same thing, counterattacks a single enemy, and has +1 focus versus counter targets. So whether it's us being attacked or our allies attacking, we can sneak some extra damage in here with Octavia that she might not otherwise get. And then if she does happen to get attacked by something, we do have Deflect to negate that damage and increase her own evasion. Doesn't happen very often since we have the lane out here ready to guard for us, but it works, it works. And then Wing Rest, if we happen to take some damage from Ranger and Survive or some AoE magic or something like that, we can use this, get some extra HP back, double if we're like burning or poisoned or something like that. Again, resilience is key here, and this squad is very, very good at resilience. And that's the number one thing I think you need to consider when it comes to building a general use squad. Your general purpose units need to be out there able to handle a wide variety of different combat scenarios. You need to be able to traverse terrain well, so cavalry, flying units, or if there's a lot of rough terrain, you need to be able to trudge through cavalry, get through or whatever. Infantry units are good for that. They need to have a good amount of stamina, being able to have potentially a leader, like say, I don't know, our lance connector we can switch to if there's going to be a protracted engagement on the ground before we get stamina back. He's got 6 stamina, so he can really make sure that the squad is able to hold for a long period of time. You want to have a lot of different self-sustaining abilities, heals, defensive capabilities, ways to negate damage, ways to absorb damage, ways to get your own active points and passive points back, etc., etc. Because the more likely you are to clear a fight in one round of combat without your units going down, the longer you're going to be able to fight out there on the map. Finally, making sure that you have a variety of different types of attacks to handle different situations is great. Geralt here can deal with cross, Lane can just kind of handle anything he wants to. He's not particularly effective against any one type of unit other than Cavalry Slayer, kind of nerfing their points that they can use, but he's able to survive attacks from pretty much anything, which is good. And then Thijs is out here as an anti-magic specialist, making sure that the team doesn't just get nuked. There are other things that I could incorporate in here, of course. We could either get more magic damage in, or potentially something like a breaker to inflict guard seal and deal with armored units, things like that. Once we get this up to a 5-man squad, we can incorporate something like a shaman to really nerf the damage output, or we could maybe put in something like a ranger or a sword fighter to deal with the enemies that are particularly dodgy, hard to hit, backliners, stuff like that. Generally, when you have a unit like this, just having that versatility is key. That's why characters like Virginia is so good, because she has a bunch of her own built-in anti-particular unit effectiveness skills, which is great. All in all, this is an absolute smaller squad. You can swap these pieces around to do different types of things, incorporate different classes, different unique characters, whatever it is you want to do. But this overall setup is going to be a very strong foundation for you to build from.
What's up?
To make your own general-purpose units. If you can get
What's up?
this type of squad line, you'll be set for the majority of the game.
What?
And then you can
No, I didn't.
other more specified squads.
I haven't even been on your account. It's deleted off my
Things that
PlayStation.
have much more focused capabilities that they are extremely deadly in, but that maybe aren't as equipped to deal with a wide variety of scenarios. These are the guys that are going to have a couple of other specialists. But that's it. This was very helpful for me. This is a fun little quick one to put together.
I'm fine. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
I've seen a lot of, like, I'm just kind of throwing random crap together and seeing what works, and I don't feel like I'm being a very good tactician as a result, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of bashing my head against the wall until
I can't play
set up like this. Take whatever pieces you have available to you, and
Yeah, all you gotta do is go on your damn account. What do you mean you can't play any games?
where you have better synergy and better survivability against a much wider range of enemies.
Well, I don't know what the fuck you did last night, but you did something, because you were talking. I went to bed after all that shit at like 5 a.m.
I'm not pointing fingers, okay? Like, I watched some of the videos, and, you know, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to fight you, I'm not trying to fight her, I'm not trying to...
I'm not fighting nobody. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm confused. I just literally... I woke up at like 2 p.m. So I'm confused. I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about.
Only 1%
I can't play a game.
Well, I don't know what you did.
So...
And remember, I can't even log into your account anyways without a two-factor authentication. So if I wanted to log into it again after the first time I've been on it, I would have to literally have you give me a code from your fucking email or phone number or wherever it's connected to.
I'm not blaming you. Maybe my phone's messing up, or you know, I'm not blaming you. I came to ask.
You said that you changed your password last night, or you were going to change it last night, because I heard you talking to your mom about it. So I don't know if you forgot what you changed it to or what.
No, I screenshot it. I always do. Before.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened, because...
I've heard your cries, the clamor.
After that...
Appreciate it. Feedback is very good, probably decide what we're going to do on the channel. But I've heard you all in asking for an overall build guide for endgame units for Unicorn Overlord. I know plenty of people have beaten the game already, but it may prove of interest.
You're probably going to have to go and do what I think you're going to have to do, which is
in-game squads. As this is
where you go to your account and console sharing and play offline play and sharing on.
A team together. And not to survive, but to thrive when you are dealing with a large.
You did do that? Well, I don't know what else to tell you now because I didn't do anything.
The squad that we're going to be featuring for this example is Lex. We technically have Champion squad right now, but Lex is actually the main leader here, so we're going to make it good. I know that might anger some of you Lex haters in the comments, but listen, Lex is my boy. He's actually a pretty good squad leader, so we're going to talk about what exactly makes this.
Because I haven't even been on since you're the one that changed it. You did something. I have nothing to do with me.
And is laser focused for a particular technical goal, something like, say, you know, my Trinity Organ combo squad, or something you just want to be able to field a variety of combat scenarios. And that's not the old something we have on your Lex's unit. Or something like Bruno's unit that has lots of weakness and what's damage deals with Bruno, or like Pierre's unit with my cavalry that are meant to have a bunch of damage deals with
You want me to apologize to you for what I said last night or what?
And the goal is to have a unit that can survive a number of
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you did, but I didn't do any damn thing to your account or anything like that because I can't even fucking log into it anyway.
Dealing damage, taking out enemies, generally being effective.
No, I'm past that point.
Pushing forward is
okay.
Thing in Universe.
You'll not be disappointed.
I'm just saying, you want me to apologize to you or what?
Bruno unit. I figured Lex's squad is a very much squad.
What do you think?
And as such, we are. Looking at it here, there's a few things to take note of. First of all, we have two front line.
I already apologized to you yesterday and last night, early in the morning.
And Octavia, the Liver Master, who has some decent survivability.
I did see you too.
I the class that she is, and the abilities that she has.
You know, like,
it's not like I don't care. Right of backliners for damage and utility. Gerald, the Lance Connect.
I don't care if you leave or not.
Without necessarily being the tech-based units, we don't really want him on the front line. Same thing for Batista, the werewolf here, although his goal is to focus down particularly nasty, squishy units and also kind of bring the gas at the end of a fight, since werewolves do tend to get stronger the fewer enemies there are, with the less HP they have. And then, of course, Ice, the Sainted Knight, who's here primarily to keep the entire squad going, while also being able to deal some damage herself. The ultimate goal in any team like this is you need these three things: your tank, your damage, and your support. The combination that those come in, how many supports you have, how many tanks you have, how many damage dealers you have, that can vary greatly. But these are the three pillars that you want in any major general successful squad. And that's why we're doing this here. Lex, my boy. So, what's the goal of the Vanguard here? Partially, it's to provide arrow cover for our flyers, since we do have a flying ally in this squad who is absolutely going to fold arrows.
I don't have anything to talk about. I'm just chilling.
Beyond that, he is meant to stand on the front line, absorb as many hits as possible with good defensive stats, and deal a modicum of damage in the process. To that end, we have the following.
So,
the role player sword gets a base pass point +1, as well as 30%.
Do you still consider me as a friend or what?
Maxed out this
I stand ready.
The White Rider.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with it.
Give a normal shield, not great shield.
I mustn't be defeated.
There's
there's another thing I'm going to tell you really quick.
Line tanky defensive unit.
I was mad last night. I did say I was joking about it.
This actually gives Lex a deceptive amount of capability when it comes to damage dealing and overall effectiveness, and then of course a lapis pendant to max out the passive.
To see if you really cared about me,
very basic.
You know, as a friend or whatever.
Potency, 2 hit count.
Yeah, well, that's why I said I was about ready to fucking delete you, because that's some fucking petty ass shit right there.
I wasn't making fun of you. He did on his own accord. I didn't think he would go and message you. I didn't tell him to message you.
Guarded attack, and overall is a very powerful ability. I love Defender is the skill that makes Vanguard come alive in the late game.
Fucking Robert's right there. I told him, no, don't. I literally told him, don't fucking do it.
Biggest damage round, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. Then we have Shield Bash.
Yeah, well, people supposedly think I'm the fucking bad guy because of you running your fucking mouth last night off some bullshit that wasn't even true.
Could, but honestly,
that's why I put all I did in that damn chat, because it needed to be done.
A particular condition to use it, I need to have here in case we wind up in an odd situation where guarding it is triggered only once. We have 3 AP total. We've already used Defender. We're going to have 1 AP left over. We want to be able to use that on something. Shield Dash is as good of use as any. Getting a free stun on something is certainly nice, and it could be potentially stopping something from getting an attack off the tower, which is pretty awesome. So, it's here.
What are the things I supposedly said that wasn't true?
Not. We're going to be spamming more defenders than anything else.
You literally talk mad shit when you're angry that isn't even true half the shit. I don't want nothing to do with that. Because honestly, I didn't even do anything wrong. I hadn't done a single damn thing wrong. I spoke openly and honestly. I never lied. I don't fucking sit there and try and manipulate people. I don't try to get people to side with me. I have literally left it all alone. And then I come back and I hear that fucking people are like, oh, hey, what the fuck did you do? You're an asshole. I'm like, I didn't do any fucking thing. What are you talking about?
Being able to stun enemies, to slow them down, and like damage dealers in the backline do their work is huge.
Yeah, I said something I
It's one of the reasons that I like her master so much.
And I didn't think it was going to work out between you and, you know, and I probably should have said that, but, you know, that, and I just can't figure out, you know what I mean, like, what did I, you know, but yeah, I know I did, you know.
Parphnelian Pendant for an AP, which again, very nice, and a Pursuit Bracelet for some extra damage from
like I said, it just wasn't meant to be.
Getting in. We have Diving Thrust, targeting cavalry, allowing us to attack a single enemy, and cavalry it gets plus 50 versus cavalry targets. This is very much a utility piece, not something that we're going to be relying on overly much, but if it is a particularly important cav target, we will hit them with this. Then we have Tempest Drive targeting a full column, attack combat enemies with a piercing strike, cavalry targets the targets, attack, and the strike is critical if the user is below 50% HP. This is something that
the fit and the infirm alike
will, a lot of the time, it deals very good damage to column enemies. Now,
some of the inhabitants have grown quite frail.
This will come out.
The march of progress ever demands new feet.
So it's not going to be more making fun of me.
There's nobody's been making fun of you.
With this, if the enemy is faster than us, and they're able to get some damage in, we have
I don't want to talk to you for a while because of what the fuck went down.
A situation where we want to pull out tanks, let's say if we Vanguard and have a unit that can help in tanking and then turn into a damage dealer with something like Tempest Drive is very, very nice.
That's not for you to know.
That's why Spectrum 5
Alright, hey, he's still here while we figure this out.
Wish to interrogate us in
What?
Try to figure out my account stuff.
What'd you say? I'm talking to you.
I said, can you please stay here until I figure out my account stuff, please.
Yeah, I'm just playing Unicorn Overlord right now.
A welcome gift, and one I'll gladly accept. Tatiana, stay here and ensure the experiments continue as scheduled.
Yes, brother.
Guards, rally the defenses. We depart anon.
Ghislaine has completed the cure, has he? It was all a matter of time, but with all the vital support I've thrown at his back.
Your hubris knows no bounds, wretch. One as revolting as you is unfit to stand in the company of Lord Ghislaine. Only by his word have I let your presence go
I've been
unimpeded.
Please, help me remove the iron ring
Now
before I
go.
fail. Not there.
Gather the dead and be quit of this manner before you drain my patience any further.
Let me go check the settings part there.
I will protect you. Always.
Speaking of which, what if we don't wind up hitting that threshold where our HP is low enough to use Tempest Drive after that shape? This is going to be the bread and butter. This is going to be what you use the most frequently to absolutely punish the enemy. 100 physical potency, 100 magic potency, attack and throw of enemies, inflict stun. This is the big one. Just being able to get most likely 2 to 3 enemies stunned and a good chunk of damage on them so your backline can start cleaning them up is super nice. And with something like, say, Werewolf, where you want enemies to be low, this is a great way to start getting them low. Potentially even finish something
What are you watching, by the way?
damage against better. Then
Stuff on YouTube.
Activate that for ally attack, obviously enemy, just more free damage in there, and then deflect to help with our tanking. This activates before being hit by melee attack, negates melee damage racing hits, and grants the user plus 20 made. This leads into the idea that as flying unit River Masters are generally going to be pretty dodgy against enemy frontliners, because most of the time they're going to be infantry, grounded, etc. So you're going to be dodging a lot of attacks. But if you are going to get hit, deflect comes in, blocks that attack, gives you even more evasion, so it's even less likely that it's in the future. This is a great option. I love having an off-tank like a Wyvern Master that can handle the job, maybe not as good as a dedicated tank, but enough that then they'll still have HP and the points left over after delivering a couple hits, pick up HP, and help keep out a bit more damage. Great setup, good options for this. Griffin Master, potentially even Rose, Firefox, stuff like that. It's very nice. And of course has a flyer you can have her as co-leader, so you can go fly over for 80.
Okay, where do you find that? I forgot.
Once you changed your password, I don't know what happened because you know, obviously after you did what you did, I can't play Requiem anymore or anything like that. The only other way I'd know how to fix it is if I literally relogged into your account and did it on my end instead.
These guys are going to be targeted first by any ranged assist enemies on the battlefield, of which there are likely going to be.
The other thing you can do is restore your licenses, which is
now for our back line
by just going to your.
If you know me, you know I love my self-swords, I love my lance connects. I know there's going to be people who try to roast me.
You just press the options button on a game, and then you go down to restore license of the games, or just go to your library, your game library, and click restore license on the game, like on your home screen. You click restore license, and then when you do that,
we're set up with a basic steel sword.
It'll
any stronger sword
usually should work.
Find the best thing, toss a great sword on there, whatever you want. It's just what I absolutely have available for this squad at the time. The higher physical attack, the better, and you get some bonus effects in there, all the better. I have an action press shield plus with maxed out physical defense, guard rate, guard efficiency, passive, whatever. Whatever utility shield you want on something like this in the back line, so they're not going to be tanking overly much, it's also totally fine.
Okay, let me try to change my password.
Like if they're able to build a shield, then Wolfpack Alphas gives us the Wolfpack skill. At the start of the battle, grants plus 20% physical attack from all allies, which is what everyone in this squad cares about, and gives plus 50% critical rate to veteran targets, plenty enough to have. Finally, Knight's Medallion. Physical defense plus 2, physical defense plus 10%, guard rate plus 10%. This is just an I'm paranoid option, because I hate when my backline gets blown up unexpectedly, and that my lance connect does like having a little bit of extra defense. If you want to go all in on something physical, that is totally fine. Toss a beret on here. Toss something like, I don't know, whatever you want. Some extra carnelian, or something else that's going to boost your physical attack. Eye patch, or something, whatever makes you happy. totally fine. It depends entirely on what the unit is trying to do and what the class in question is to do. For damage, Bastards Cross, highest HP, max single enemy, potency increases based on the target's HP, max increase plus 60. This powerhouse, this is something real hard, especially in levels like getting things like that confidence. This is really, really nice. I cannot understand how strong it is. You're going to kill it. Then the champion wind up in a situation where we need it just to be able to deal some extra damage or something, and not weird cases. Wolfpack, again, getting that damage buff for the entire team. This is awesome, and we just pass it with that build slash counterattacks hits. So as we start to get attacked, our tanks are kind of dodging, taking hits, whatever, we're getting in there, dealing damage, getting the passive point damage, and then getting on from there. Next, Taste of the Werewolf. Again, damage dealer. Wolf Sword, Carnelian Pendant for the extra AP, Green Beret, generates high attack, even more damage, either pure damage or crit rate. Very simple stuff here. We've got Wild Fang to attack from enemies, both decrease the less HP target has, max 50, and Decimate, attack single enemy, potency increase the fewer enemies there are, max increase plus 100. Then we have Killing Pursuit, activates after an ally attacks, off attacks single enemy, grants the user plus 1 AP if the target is defeated, and Bestial Cowl, activates before attacking with active skill, grants allies and the user throw plus 15% physical attack. So, between this and Wolfpack Gauntlets, our team is going to be slapping. He's going first, he's going to weaken the front line of the enemy with Wild Fang, buff the allies' attacks, maybe possibly something like it's very solid stuff. Very simple, but very solid stuff. And finally, Ice, the combo damage dealer and support in this setup. She also has a Vorpal Sword for as much physical attack as possible, Templar Shield for guard efficiency, HP recovery, etc. A Lapis Pendant, which you can use more of our support abilities, which is very important, and Cloth Gauntlets, so that if something happens to try to poke through on Lex, namely a spear that's going to deal bonus damage to dice, she's able to guard it more efficiently and take less damage. She then set up with Saint's Blade, attack single enemy, plus 25 potency for users after 100% HP, and it grants the user plus capacity to get the attack hits. This takes purely physical potency attack, and yes, what people do generally like magical swords and safety dice to make use of their good magical attack. I prefer to make sure that my Saint's Knight has the capacity points to keep tossing out shields, heals, etc. Saint's Blade is what's going to allow us to do this. Then we have Rogue Guild, who use that Saint's Blade the first time. Here, we're going to just toss out heals from the front row, back row, etc. If you want to be a little bit spicy, then you can add a second row heal here with the condition of 50% HP. This way you can make sure that, like, you're maybe only going to heal in certain scenarios, but, like, I found that 5% of the time having target HP is less than 75% is fine. Rogue, we have to get attacked by magic attack, block it, fully guard. We get hit by an attack, we can guard it, and then magic particular allies by magic attack. Guard them as well. A very solid setup that allows us to deal physical damage. Still, I love it. Now, how does this help you to build your own endgame score? This is an example type of unit. We've gone through the tanks, we've gone through the damage dealers, we've gone through the support, and we've talked about how some of those roles are pulling double duty. Something like our Wyvern Master here, dealing both damage and being a tank. Our Saint Knight, dealing damage and being support. Wherever you can achieve that, you should. Yes, there's going to be scenarios where you have someone through it that is dealing out basically no damage, except very specific setups and scenarios, but her support is important. In most cases, though, you want everyone to be able to deal damage. That's that kind of situation where you like to have anger, and each of those equivalents, they have physical damage dealing. They're great defensively, and sometimes you want to be both after bang. Now, use this type of formula. Does it exactly? No. Again, as I mentioned, you can look at something like my Cavalry. We've got 3 primary damage dealers, and then 2 characters in the back who deal literally 0 damage in a druid and a bishop. 1 for healing, one for enemy demons, but that's fine. You got your
I'll
support,
not go easy
you got
on you.
tanks and cavalry, realistically you've got other tanks that bag here ready. Look at Bruno's same type of thing. We've got our primary damage dealer in Bruno, we've got tank Muriel, and we've got some flanking back by Druid, as well as a kind of big support and damage dealer like Bruno. So you can see the archetypes active. Aren't doing something super focused like a super heavy cavalry squad or a super focused like a squad, then you're going to want some more loose all-rounders here. And that's what I want to impart upon you. You don't have to have this exact way to copy it. It's the philosophy behind it. This one can be two examples of what that looks like. My name is Tom, I'm a licensed like that, and welcome back to the channel. So what are we doing today? Well, I've done a lot of videos covering builds of mine that I recommend you steal inspiration from, or steal from sale if you so choose, but it doesn't always help to show the things that are the best. Learning by example also works. You show things that didn't work, so people have an idea of why and how they can improve their own squad if they run into situations, right? So I figured I should show my least favorite squads from the end of my initial expert run of that not necessarily terrible. Definitely don't live up to the standards of the other ones that I've put together. Only two here because I think Jerry and the rest of my squads wind up working out pretty damn well. And these two in particular just they struggle. Yeah, I'll get into it. First off, I'm talking about this Swordmaster squad here, Arias' unit. And yeah, my plan was to have a lot of fast, critically striking, high damage attacks to come in to devastate enemy squishy units and bring them down with a nice blitz lightning strike before they're able to really get any counterattacks in. The issue is I just was not able to get all these Swordmasters to hit target on. So let's go through what we have. First off, we got Pepe the Viking. Vikings are awesome. I love Vikings. I think they're just very, very solid.
Can't you hear me?
The main reason I'm using Viking here was for the Warhorn ability. It's about the all-allied attack skills unbalanced. This way, my Swordmaster
Jacob, can you hear me? I was going to make a apology
and not have a bunch of their damage absorbed by enemies with good block capabilities, shields, etc. Make it unguardable.
I'll be right back, baby, okay?
Right? That was the idea. We then have wide break and attack of enemies and inflict minus 30% physical defense to again make our Swordmasters hit even harder. And then just some general gear to help keep our Viking alive. Vikings can be pretty squishy if they don't have cover. So something like Gold Bangle with increased defense, a good luminous shield that gives debuff resistance, things like that. Not bad options. Of course, there would be better setups for this, and that could be a contributing factor, maybe something to discuss for all of these units, but given the limitations of gear that I had, I was putting these squads together. This worked for what I was trying to do. Before we talk about our Swordmaster, we will talk about Arias, our Feather Staff here. This, as a unit, definitely felt like it needed some support, and Feather Staff was going to be pretty good at it. Things like Holy Cradle give the rogue ally stand looking low. I mean, we don't have any particular tanks, and you have a lot of potential squishy units. The enemies are able to get through and actually get attacks in after them wind up getting a bunch of hits in on them, and make it so our guys can actually survive the attack. Not terrible. And then Overheal, just a reminder, HP for rogue allies above their limits, being able to just either heal up if we took a big hit and we were on death's door, or we get this healer before we get hit, give them a nice little HP cushion, very solid, and work out very well. We then have Party Resurrection coming in off of Mother Leila's staff, giving us the ability to revive one ally, which is 1 HP again. When you've got a group that is as potentially squishy as this, being able to get someone back on their feet at the end of the fight is nice. Holy Breath activates before an ally attacks, provide HP to them if they're afflicted, remove affliction, and grant the user +1 passive point. This is a great option. You know, if your Swordmaster got blinded, or they're poisoned, or anything like that, you can have this, heal them up, get some extra HP back, and let them get in there for their full damage. And then finally, Preemptive Heal activates for an ally's attack, restores moderate HP to an ally. Again, all of the options that we need here to actually help keep these guys alive. The main issue is that by the end of the game, they're so squishy that they were often getting blown up before a lot of these skills would come into play. And yes, things like Holy Cradles do help with that, not as much as I was hoping. Moving on then to our 3 sword masters, Morgan, Alexandra, and Sabine. Morgan I have set up here with a just standard meteor / build, some decently powerful gear, nice lucky coin to increase crit rate, master's gauntlets, extra evasion, fighter, all that type of good stuff. Morgan just wants to be able to stand on the front line and survive. And that's not the easiest thing for a sword master to do, but with things like nimble fighter and parry, it is the meteor slash is able to get in there and deal a bunch of good damage. And then if she happens to fire on extra AP, you can use Keen Edge to deal a good chunk of damage to an enemy. Primarily, the goal here was to have a higher crit rate, but our attacks from meteor slash would crit more often, not each individual attack chain does have a chance to crit, or so having a crit rate here is very good. With things like nimble fighter giving us extra physical attack and damage when you do get that meteor slash in. The issue is that sword masters are very fast. So unless you're fighting equally, if not even faster enemy, then you're going to wind up getting that meteor slash off before you're able to get the nimble fighter and get the attack off. So this didn't really work out the way that I was hoping it would, simply because the nimble fighter wasn't activating the way I wanted it to. And that really created our sword master damage. Sword masters, they...
You and I are on the same stage for once.
It's still working. Finishing the report.
And then he sits there, and he gets mad at me for going into a room with Jake. But honestly, at the time,
Get out!
I was struggling with my mental health, struggling with the fact that I was constantly getting fucking messages from Dad about just being able to stay with me.
Stop.
Yeah, and it's like,
What? You're just hanging around.
yeah.
We're not touching anything. Watch your front, hoods up, don't lie. 2 suspects at the armored truck requesting back.
Silence, chases, crazy decisions, plan every move actually matters here. You could be a cop, a criminal, a racer, tent, whatever fits your vibe. It's a real city, not just a mobile game. If you're into action, freedom, and cloud, you need to try this. Just make life after if you're serious.
Yeah. And then
They don't have a great physical attack. They're all about the prints, and so they need buffs or your enemies be severely weakened to deal their maximum possible damage. And that's why the Vikings reduce enemy defense. But also, Viking is slower than a sword master, so he actually wasn't getting the wide breaker in before they were attacked. With judicious use of accessories and things like that, plus Raven Plume on here to pump Pepe's initiative through the roof, that would help. But I didn't have the resources to do that. I didn't have the forethought to do that when I was put this squad together. And so we kind of felt about different ways that you could optimize these squads to make it better. Absolutely. Then we have Alexandra set up to have a fairly similar type of thing going on to Morgan. She has the Vorpal Sword and Wyvern Razor, again, extra crit rate, extra crit damage, Royal Scarf to give her some extra evasion because she doesn't have Master Gauntlets, and then a Lucky Point again, extra crit rate and evasion as well. And again, she just wants to get in there, chunk things with Meteor Slash, get the Keen Edge in if she winds up extra AP somehow, or loses 1 AP, can't use Meteor Slash, cool. And then parry helps keep yourself alive on the front line. Not a bad setup in practice. But really the issue is, like, you run into armors, you run into anything that is able to evade, you run into anything that is going to be able to apply multiple debuffs, anything that's going to tank your attack stats like Druid. There's just so many different ways that a build like this can get countered, and without the appropriate support in the squad, there's very little that you can do. Note as well, of course, that these squads are put together the way that they are because of the units that I had available to me, or the characters that I had available to me, based off of what people had requested. on like my various community feeds. So I wouldn't necessarily have all of the sword masters in all the one, but I was making do with what I had. It just didn't quite work out. So if you're a fan of sword masters, keep this stuff. Finally, we have Sabine, and Sabine was probably the most effective of the three in the squad, and she did have a different role as well. As a backline unit, I actually had her set up to get a little bit of anti-fire, because that is something else that will severely hamper this squad. As such, she had double blast, ready to absolutely pulverize flying targets if possible. Legion slash, she will get some good trick chains in there if possible, and charge impetus so that she can give herself more AP and more crit damage. Seeing as how she was in the backline, I wasn't worried about her having the ability to evade things, so we did set her up with just more raw damage, plus AP capabilities. And again, this didn't work out that way. If anyone was doing anything in the squad, it was usually Sabine, but that's because she had a little bit more of a specialized role that no one else in the squad could really handle. So I felt the impact of her contributions a lot more than the others who were just trying to jump in and carve something in half. Again, there's a lot of ways that you can make this squad better, no doubt about that. Different units that you can put in, or different classes that you can put in to help supplement the Sword Master, different gear that you can put on them. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of gear, but the way I have it set up just did not work. I figure it's worth showing it to you guys. Then we have Quinn's unit up here. This is an archer support squad that I put together near the end of the game. And unlike the Swordmaster squad, this one has more legs, but it still has issues, so we'll talk about it. The goal here was to be a primary archer range support squad, so I can just get some good range support things in there, change up RNG, pick off annoying enemies at the start of the fight, that kind of thing. But also have to be a squad that could defend itself if it wound up getting attacked, not be something that I would have to baby all the way through the entire map, like you would like a 5-woman cleric squad for insane healing, you know. To that end, we have a few different things going on here. First, we have Josephine the Shield Shooter. She's set up with an evade tank build, seeing as she is on the front line. If you saw my recent video about the different archetypes of archers, you should know a fair bit about why I have her set up this way. If she is on the front line, she's using heavy bolts to deal massive damage to a single target.
Alright, baby, you're coming with me outside because I have to
quick reload
go put my tire on the bicycle.
Different things like that that are really important.
I get to go on an adventure with you?
Yeah, you get to go on an adventure.
Yeah, if you get to go adventure with them.
Continues well to restore it, so she can get extra stats, including extra
Good job.
damage. And she's probably
She can hear me, can't she?
the most capable member of the squad, to be completely honest here.
Well, Desiree, you're coming with me.
Pretty much any squad, and I'd be happy to have it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're on my cell phone.
Sort of frontline, dodge, tank, disruptor type unit. She's set up with more defensive things
Well,
like her
he
Knight
hears you
Sword,
apologize.
Vulcan Shield. Then she'll move up to be a Sapphire Attendant, so she can use as many different attacks as well.
Hey, baby, Desiree
She
wants
is
to
set
talk
up
to
with
you.
Discharge build, which is a really fun thing that Feather Swords can do. Attacking
She wants to apologize.
all these buffs and increases attack power for one attack. So the idea here is she holds the front line alongside Josephine. She gets a bunch of buffs through Diurnal Guard, Accelerate. She's
Here, hold
reducing
on a
enemy
sec.
capabilities to
Let
things
me,
like Spiral Sword,
let me put
Ready
on
Clone
some-
Slash, deal a bunch of extra damage, especially with
Let me
Discharge.
put my shorts
She's got some
on
good
first.
stuff. The issue is that even with those buffs and even with that,
Yeah,
it's a lot
we
of
don't need to go outside like that.
big hit on an enemy.
Well,
By the time you're ready to do
I'm
that,
wearing clothes.
weak enough that a normal home slash would just being able to do them in anyway. So there was a lot of circumstances where I'd be excited for Vivian to really pop off,
Alright, guys,
and then
hold,
she was
hold
kind
off on
of
the
like go
flirting.
after something
That's all I
that
have.
really
Don't-
didn't need it, or really
shoot
targets
around.
all that.
That's all I have.
Really, or
Wait
worthy
time's on.
of the
Let's
effort
play
that
a game. That's all I
Valley
have.
is setting up that big attack, you know?
Yeah, can we agree to that or
Unit
no?
setup, or with different
After I apologize here
priorities
first.
on conditions, things like that. Absolutely, I'm sure it could. But again, the idea
Hold on
here
a
is
second. You're gonna have to ask that again.
She wasn't
Because let me pause this and let me put y'all two right next to each other on phone so you can hear each other. Alright, baby. Desiree. There you go. Here's the conversation.
Let me pause so I can hear shit. Oh, no.
Okay, got everything paused?
Yeah, everything's good now.
Okay. Okay,
Second.
second.
sister yelling over everything.
I got a sister too. I got trans brothers. But anyway,
Just because you're taller than me, we can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was talking to her sister.
Yeah, my brother just was texting.
Did you see the butt?
Alright, so now go ahead and get it over with, ladies.
Okay, I apologize for it last time. I shouldn't have said that, but, I have seen it with, a lot of women, I tried, I failed, got my life, I don't know if you will accept this as an apology or not. Like, I don't know. But I am willing to try to get to know you a little bit better.
Appreciate the apology, but just so you know, the reason I went off is because he's the only one that's ever treated me with any type of respect.
Yeah, I know. He can.
And he makes. And I don't like people judging me before they even get to know me and or meet me. And I just kind of felt, and like, this is my mind because I've been hurt so many times. I felt like you were doing it because you still wanted to be with him, even though he told you repeatedly he don't want that.
And you're not wrong about that. I'm shocked, but yet not shocked. Like, it's in between, Sometimes I get,
think you didn't expect it to go along the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not just protective of the people I care about. When I'm with somebody, I am a territorial bitch.
I know. I would too. I know. I get that.
And the fact that this is the happiest I've been, I'm not going to let this come from anybody, whether you're his friend or not, swoop in and try and take it from me. Because I will put up a fucking fight.
I did that with him with Ricky.
So, but please don't try to get in between the two of us. Because I truly love him and I don't want to lose him.
Okay.
Jesus!
And can I ask, between we all agree, well, I'm gonna want to play a game with you guys, okay? Like, the flirting, you hear what I'm saying? I just don't want to hear it in front of me, you know what I mean?
Well, I can't help the way we talk to each other. That's how we are. That's how we talk.
I don't mind calling it gay or whatever like that. That's fine. That's fine.
I think Desiree doesn't know the difference between what actual flirting is, so she gets confused.
We weren't even flirting last night.
No, I'm just telling you guys in general, so it's not flirting. That's all I'm saying here. I know what's different between flirting and not.
I don't know. You thought me calling you cute one day was flirting with you when I was giving you a compliment.
Well, text sometimes you let them force. Oh. I know,
JJ,
come on, girl.
No, she's laughing at her sister.
No, I was laughing with her because I know my dumbass. I just know.
Hey, JJ, fight me.
Does
Don't
J-
you say, don't.
Does JJ want to get in a dang Discord call with us?
This is our little family Discord, babe. That's why not a lot of people are in.
Yeah.
And we're missing one child from it who hasn't accepted my invite, but she barely talks to me as yet. So JJ's being protected because as Desiree has watched you go through hell, JJ watched me go from getting the literal hell beat out of me to being emotionally manipulated to having a child who's getting left at the hospital to literally getting cheated on constantly. Yeah, I've been cheated on. To give my, the father of my two kids, Dean signed the birth certificate. So,
About time.
Dean go to hospital for me.
You'll not be disappointed.
There's some things
Your villainy ends here.
He went to the hospital with me and and called me up.
We can do this. Together now.
My personality is a little bit different.
The time is at hand. Onward.
You got orders for me?
When people try to step on my toes,
About time. Be there before you know it. Been waiting for this.
Oh, God.
We'll take them all on.
Come now.
I'll hit him with all I've got.
Victory is assured. We can do this. We march on. Find out. I presume you're the ghastly lord responsible for this plague and its death-strewn offensive.
You would accuse me of diffusing such evil through my own lands? Me, who at last stands on the precipice.
Alright, well, I gotta go outside and put these... Put this tire on my bike, so I'm bringing y'all with me. What? Yeah.
So, question for sarcasm, babe. I think I'm gonna do it
once more.
A what theme?
Stitch.
Another course
Like,
for the time.
the whole Stitch?
What?
A fortuitous thing, that. Where's cure
Oh.
manifest?
So you want a
My
Hawaiian
hard work
theme?
spreading this pestilence would be for naught.
We're talking about IMVU. Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about IMVU. That's why I was all like, you used to have IMVU, Desiree? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
To me.
I've been around the
I
internet
stand
for a while.
ready. I depart. Order
That's why I like a
anyone?
couple bolts and stuff. Take my hair now. Staff put it up, please. Right? No wonder I had a mic.
texted Ellie and told her, so tell everybody not to pot stir. I mean it.
What's wrong with Ellie?
I told her not to pot stir.
Not to poster? What happened to her and her boyfriend?
Didn't work out. It was funny because hers was like the 2 nights before me and like, you know, me and you. And, you know what I mean? I had dreams about, you know, so.
Path is set.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
How may I assist?
Anyway, that story doesn't matter, so.
What are we doing?
No.
Alright. Whatever. Cool story.
Ooh, excuse me.
Bananas. Burritos.
A good time.
Actually, I had burritos last night. You're making me hungry, and I just had dinner.
I'm just saying random food. How am I making you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
That's my thing. I randomly will say. That's my thing. That's my thing. I'll randomly say some food. Like when they're like, you can ask Desiree. There was one time where there were people in the group having an argument, and I said burritos. Burritos are nice, right? Don't you like burritos? I like burritos with rice, beans, and sour cream with tomatoes and lettuce in it.
Yeah, maybe
and then Jen goes and be like, starts laughing and shit, and I'm all like, what are you laughing about? It's not funny. I'm just talking about burritos. I was just trying to change the subject because everybody was like fucking arguing in there. And then I'm all like, burritos, yeah? How y'all feel about burritos?
Here we go. What do you expect?
What should I do?
Oh God, people know.
I'll head over now.
We march.
But listen to me very closely and very closely right now.
Your orders, sir.
We know what happened between us in this conversation right now. Correct? So anything in the past couple of hours or whatever,
You'll not be disappointed.
Down. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna lose whatever over whatever.
Time is with us. Should we only keep our focus?
Blasphemous
fool. For, you know, for a long, you know what I mean? I can't do that. I can't, how do I do that?
I have you.
Yeah.
We can do
I can't replace.
Yeah.
No hesitation. Keep your focus.
I mean, they might go and replace me, I don't know. And that's me talking to you as a friend. You want to talk about Tony? Huh? What's her name? I was going to say something. I was trying to get her attention, but I don't know. What is your fucking target?
No, she's talking to JJ. She's talking to her sister. She always is in like multiple conversations.
Still give you attention.
I'll never hold myself back.
No.
Witness the might of an angel.
I'm good.
Nah, she was talking to me.
I'll do what I can. Of course.
I stand ready. Your will shall be done. I've arrived.
Well, my thing is, I kind of want one time with you.
You'll not be disappointed.
Oh my God, blow my fucking donut, Joe.
The path is set.
I'm not sure
To
I'll
me.
Here I am.
I I hope you're ready. Just as I expected.
I said, what? I said I like having one-on-one time with Jake, but then I also talk to you guys because you guys hang up on me. But I can talk to you guys, but still give him attention whether I'm multitasking or not.
Well, hey, ask your girlfriend if she wants to play Fortnite tonight, or no, or is that a no?
I don't know. Desiree asked if we could play Fortnite tonight with her.
Witness the might of an angel.
I'll try. I've been dealing with migraines throughout the day.
Okay. I just took my anti-depression and anxiety.
Victory grows ever closer.
Well, they did. I took my medicine an hour ago.
Time is at hand.
They were going to give me a higher dose, but they wanted to pay for it.
It's
die. Don't die. I can't do it right now. I got that done.
Well, that's good. What kind of antidepressants did they give you?
The time is at hand. The path is set.
Let me sign into this on my phone real quick.
Your villainy ends here. A fine bout. We march. To me. You face me. I've need of rest. The time is at hand. The path is set.
I'm glad that you answered. I really do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really am. I really am.
Come then. My legs grow heavy. The time is at hand.
But for right now, for 5 days, they want me to take like half
You'll not be
of the
disappointed.
tablet. Supposed to, she told me to take it in the morning to see how it reacts or something, and then like later at night or something. Like whatever.
Yes, all right. I stand ready. I take to the skies.
Oh my god, my phone.
Blasphemous fool. Ungodly fool.
Don't despair! No hope.
As decreed by the Father himself. Witness the might of an angel. I stand ready. I'll do what I can. I'll head over now. A divine blessing. What next? You'll not be disappointed. I stand ready.
We march. The time is at hand.
Witness the might of an angel. I am your humble servant. About time. How may I assist? I make haste. You got orders for me? What are we doing? On it. I depart.
Our time grows short.
Proceeding as planned. I stand ready.
Onward. Your villainy ends here.
I'll preserve this place and our research with my very... Now I'm mad.
Together now!
Do you want to die?
Victory is assured!
This should help. Return to us.
That bitch got a revival skill?
Witness the might of an angel.
We march. The path is set. We march. Come then.
You'll not be disappointed.
The time is at hand. To me.
Watch this. Yes, all right.
Good.
I stand ready. Impressive technique. You got orders for me? Let's begin, shall we? Lethargy take. I'll cleanse your soul. Focus your mind. Forgive me. These things are themselves. I need to study this further.
Fucking John, no. Well, that's like a regular stairs. You know what? I'll make stuff. Hey, Mom.
Alright, well, I gotta go outside and put this tire where it needs to go. So what?
I said no one did it, whatever. I picked up my accident. I said I did that better. And no, but, like, I think I told mom to, like, make something to do things. You know, better be at work.
Yeah, well, that's how people are in the fucking rooms.